Number 5. Max and Ruby 0004. I used to watch Max and Ruby when I was a kid. It was such a chill and wholesome show. Just two lovable bunnies, Max and Ruby, doing goofy little kid things. When I first heard about an episode where Max is completely alone, no Ruby, no music, it really threw me off. People say it was found on a scratched DVD from a thrift store, labeled 0004. The episode starts with Max sitting there, in the living room, with a blank and empty look on his face. Max eventually gets up and starts walking around the house nervously. There's no sound, no dialogue, nothing, just silence. At one point, he stops and stares directly at the screen for way too long. Many viewers claim to feel very disturbed by the image of Max just staring at them. Some people think it was an edgy episode made by the creators of the show to express grief in some weird way, while others think it was just a hoax. I watched one of the recreations a few years back and it really did stay in my mind for a few days. It was kinda disturbing watching Max stare for what seemed like hours with no music and no expression on his face at all. The original file has never been found and the creators of the show don't acknowledge this episode in any way. But somehow, there are countless Reddit posts made by viewers of this disturbing episode. What's very scary about all of this is the reaction everyone shared after seeing the lost episode. They feel very disturbed and unsettled by the image of Max staring at them in silence. Is this a hoax, an actual lost episode, or is everybody sharing in a case of mass hysteria? Number 4. Suicidemouse.avi. I first heard about suicidemouse.avi when I was about 12 from Mr. Creepypasta. The story goes that a file called suicidemouse.avi was supposedly found on an old Disney animator's hard drive. The video was a black and white Mickey Mouse cartoon where he just walks down a looping sidewalk past the same buildings over and over again. For the first minute or so, it's almost boring, but then the music starts to warp, the background changes, and Mickey's face, blank at first, slowly begins to shift. Some versions claim his smile stretches, others say his eyes melt into black pits. Eventually, it's just static, and then screeching audio. A final frame of text flashes on the screen that says, "The sights of hell bring its viewers back in." No one can prove where the original came from, but even now, if you search mouse.avi, you'll find dozens of recreations, all slightly different, and every single one makes you feel like you're watching something that you shouldn't be. Number 3. Dead Bart. I grew up watching The Simpsons, and when I found the Dead Bart story online, it immediately changed the way I looked at the show. The story goes that there was a lost episode from season 1 where Bart dies on a school trip. He falls out of an airplane. The show supposedly keeps going, but the tone completely changes. The animation becomes rough, the characters move slower, and the sound feels like it's been flattened or muffled in some way. There are no jokes, there's just this heavy and empty feeling. The camera cuts to Bart's funeral where you could see Bart's body and the family crying around him. But it's not like cartoon crying, it's like very human-like and very emotional. It's very loud. It moves to the scene of the family looking very rough after his death, like they never truly healed from it. The family looks malnourished, like they haven't eaten. You can tell that Bart's death really tore them apart. And then, for the final frame, a black screen with a long list of names, a list of names of fans who had supposedly died. Eerie funeral music is played over and over again while the names just roll. The original blog post had details about Matt Groening's reaction, the episode's file name, and even how the staff of the show refused to speak about it. Some people say it's all made up, but others say they remember seeing it on air once, late at night, and they never seen it again. Number 2. Dora's lost episode. People claim that in the early 2000s, Dora the Explorer aired a one-off episode in certain parts of South America. It was completely different from anything else in the series. In this version, Dora doesn't speak. She doesn't ask the viewer for help. There's no swiper. She just walks, slowly, through a dark and foggy forest. The animation's weird. The colors are muted. The music sounds off, like it's playing backwards or through an old tape recorder. Really staticky. Near the end, Dora finally turns to the camera and says something. but no one can agree on what it was. Some say it was Spanish, others say it was just gibberish. A few people claim they had it on VHS, but the tapes were lost, damaged, or accidentally taped over. Nickelodeon has never acknowledged this episode, but the description people post are way too similar to ignore. Either they're all copying each other in order to keep this hoax alive, or something did air that night, but it was quickly buried. Number 1. SpongeBob's lost episode, Red Mist. This is another Mr. Creepypasta video I watched when I was too young, and it bothered me the most. The lost episode Red Mist, or sometimes referred to as Squidward, is a title that gets a lot of attention when lost episodes are discussed. According to the story, this was an unaired episode of SpongeBob SquarePants that was accidentally leaked by a former intern. The entire episode focuses on Squidward. The opening scene shows Squidward in front of all of Bikini Bottom performing a concert. He's playing horrible sounding notes on his clarinet, and the other characters are booing him. It then cuts to Squidward walking home with his head down, looking very depressed. The camera cuts violently. He's sitting on the edge of his bed, motionless, expressionless. There's no music, no words, just silence and the occasional background noise. Then, the screen begins to glitch. The audio distorts. Squidward starts crying, but like in Dead Bart, this is not cartoon crying. It sounds real, like painful. Then, a flash. One frame of something graphic. Everyone describes it differently. A real photo of a motionless person. Some say there was a scream that came with it as well. Others say it was missing children, but the episode ends after that. Nickelodeon has never confirmed it, but people online have claimed to know staff who saw it. I've seen a few recreations. They're kinda rough, but definitely do their job at giving you an eerie feeling. You can feel the discomfort. You feel disturbed. You feel the silence and the stare. And if even one of those clips is close to what actually existed, then I think Red Mist really was something they didn't want anyone to see. There's no way of proving if any of these episodes are real. But there's no way of proving if any of these episodes are real. Maybe they're just analog horror stories made up by people who wanted to scare one another. But every time I go digging, I find new versions, new clips, new screenshots, new found footage. And every once in a while, one of them feels a little bit too convincing. So what do you think? Which of these lost episodes got to you the most? Have you ever seen something on TV that didn't feel right? Please let me know in the comments down below. Please subscribe to Very Scary for more creepy deep dives and horror stories from the weird side of the internet. Thank you and goodbye.